Mr. Toastmaster, what a theme for today. Tranquility was definitely not on the theme. And I was thinking as tranquility and also living life to the fullest. First question. How many know who Richard Branson is? Okay. Richard Branson is a man who plays it on the edge. And I was looking at a quote that he put on his LinkedIn feed today, which I thought was fitting with the theme. Looking back at everything good that has happened over the past 2 decades has happened outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that was his quote from today. Jack Wolf is part of the educational moment for today. I attended a session with Jack Wolf at the Creative Problem Solving Institute in Buffalo, New York. And he had just finished his PhD on how people learn. And his message that I got profoundly was, do you want retention of your message? How many want retention of your message?
You gotta do that, yeah.
Then you get participation. And that was an example of what I just did. You want retention, get participation. In his book, and I sent him a note today, by the way, and thanked him for the book and the fact that I would be presenting today. He already got back to me and said thank you. But he says, lecture gives you 5%. Universities, please wake up. Reading, 10%. Audiovisual, 20%. Teaching others in immediate use, 80%. And it's all here for you to take a look at. Now, I put out some Post-it notes because this was a technique that I learned from Jack Wolf. If you're doing a seminar, you want to get participation. So one of the first things you do is you ask the people to jot down, like for instance, sometimes I do presentations on time management. And so I say, what do you want to know about procrastination? So the first thing is everybody participates by writing it down. And then they share that with the person next to them, and then we post it. But it's a technique that I learned from Jack Wolf, and it's a powerful technique if you want to do seminars. The other book I wanted to talk about, how many know who Gar Reynolds is? How many have heard about the Zen of Presentations? I mentioned it in previous sessions. He wrote the book, The Naked Presenter. Delivering powerful presentations with or without slides. But this is the part that I love most. Naturalness and the 3 C's of presenting with impact. Contribution, connection, and change. If you're going to be a presenter, we've got to be able to make a contribution, we've got to be able to connect, and we've got to be putting forward change. That is what we have available in our Toastmasters Leaders Are Made program. Now I'm going to ask you right now to take your little Post-it note that I put out, and some of you have already scribbled on them, they should have blank Post-it note, and put down 3 contributions you feel you can make as a result of you being a member of Toastmasters. You have 1 minute to do it. 3 contributions that you can make as being a member of Toastmasters. Very quickly. Very quickly. 3 contributions. Time's up? Maybe. I just made it up. All right. This is an educational session. I'm showing you the methodology that you can use in any seminar that you're presenting. The next phase that I usually use in the seminar, which we're going to skip today, is I ask you to circle the number one highlight in your list. You could do that, it takes a second. So what all this does is it gets the kinesthetic sense and gets you participating, which Jack Wolf would love, because you're participating. Then I like you to then say to the person next to you, this is why I chose number one. And that gets you talking. That gets you involved. And then they go back and go just 1 minute each. But the final part, which I love Jack Wolf says, everybody now take your Post-it note, because that's why it's a Post-it note, pick it up and walk up and paste it on the wall for me right now. Thank you very much. Will you do that right now? Everybody get up. This wall right here, this wall right here. No tranquility being allowed here. Well, that would be so that I'd have more time. You'd stop doing the timing. That's all right. Get him away from the bell. Don Ray, did you bring yours up?
I didn't write anything down.
Oh, well then put a blank one up. Mr. Toastmaster, that's an example of an educational session and how you can make a contribution to our communities. As a Toastmaster, doing 5 to 7 minute speeches are great, but eventually you're going to be doing what's called a seminar, which is a series of 5 to 7 minute speeches. And why not have this in your toolkit of ways to connect with your audience? Mr. Toastmaster.
There you go.